Welcome to our HopeFM Candidate Forum, where today we'll introduce you to 3 Republican candidates for Putnam County Tax Collector. My name's Ricky, and I'm the outreach coordinator and on-air afternoon personality for Hope on the Go here at HopeFM. When it comes to doing these forums, we're impartial. We don't accept any political advertising or endorse any parties or candidates. It's our goal today to give you a chance to get to know these 3 candidates and better encourage you to cast your ballot in the primary election. For Putnam County Tax Collectors, since the 3 candidates are in the same party, this is considered a universal primary, meaning that everyone gets to vote in this election, and it's decided on August 20th, and that's another reason why it's important to vote in the primary and not just wait till November to go to the polls. Thank you all for being here today. You'll each have 1 minute to answer each question. We will alternate who goes first with each question, and a timer will let you know when your minute's over and end your answer. We'll go in alphabetical order and begin with Miss Brenda. Brenda, tell us about yourself and why you want to be our next tax collector.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I am Brenda Bridges. I am currently your deputy tax collector. I have been in the tax collector's office since 2012, and I have served continuously in Putnam County since 2001. I spent 11 years in planning and development as the zoning office and customer service administrator. I have been on this journey for actually 36 years when I moved to Putnam County. I invested in this county not only of my time and effort, but in businesses. My husband and I owned Half Shell Resort and Bridges Supply Incorporated, and this journey is about serving Putnam County. It has been a pleasure for the past 23 years to do that, and I hope to continue that by being your next tax collector. And it is about listening to customers and ensuring that we implement everything necessary for the state of Florida.
Thank you. Miss Brittney, same question. Tell us about yourself and why you want to be our next tax collector.
Good morning. My name is Brittney Goodson. I have always lived in Putnam County. My family and I live here. My husband and I have a 15-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. I have a master's in business administration. I have experience as a chief financial officer and operations officer here at a local nonprofit. And I want to be your next tax collector to improve services and to be able to serve the community that I've always loved.
And Sydney, Miss Sydney Myers, tell us about yourself and why you want to be our next tax collector.
Good morning. So my name is Sydney Myers, and I'm running for tax collector. I was born in Louisiana, but didn't live there long. My dad was in the military, so we lived all around the world. When he retired about 10 years ago, we moved here, and he retired in Crescent City and opened his own business there. And since then, excuse me, I live in East Palatka now with my 3-year-old daughter that I raise, working from home at a tax defense law firm. There I work directly with our clients and our tax professionals, and want to be the tax collector to work on a more local level and get more involved in our community here in Putnam.
Thank you. Our next question will start with Sydney. I'm sorry, Brittney, excuse me. And Brittney, this office works closely with the property appraiser's office and other governmental agencies. What experience do you have that will help you continue those good working relationships?
So because I've always lived here, and I've worked in Putnam County most of my career, I have good working relationships with individuals throughout all the county offices, especially the property appraiser's office. We're members of civic clubs together, or like I said, just from growing up here, we're familiar with each other. And if elected, I would look forward to, continuing to build a relationship with different individuals throughout county offices and collaborating with them so that we can come up with the best results for our residents.
Oh, thank you. Ms. Sydney, same question. This office works closely with the property appraiser's office and other governmental agencies. What experience do you have that will help you to continue those good working relationships?
So I have always been outgoing and willing to interact with others. Best relate this experience to how we work with the IRS at the company that I work for now. And at the end of the day, the tax collector's office is following guidelines provided by Florida statutes, and those guidelines will help dictate those working relationships when needed, with due diligence in the tax collector's office for any clarifications when needed.
Oh, thank you. Miss Brenda, same question. This office works closely with the property appraiser's office and other governmental agencies. And what experience do you have that will help you to continue those good working relationships?
Yes, thank you. My entire career with Putnam County has been working with all of the local government offices here. So in planning and development, we worked with the property appraiser's office, the EOC, Public Works, and in the tax collector's office with the clerk's office, property appraiser's office, and then of course all of the state agencies we represent and all of the taxing authorities. So I've done that for the past 12 years. We have amazing relationships now because we depend on one another and work closely within each other's systems. And I look forward to continuing those relationships with the experience that I have and continuing that throughout my career.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Our next question will start with Miss Sydney. Yeah, now you would be the manager over a large number of employees who are essentially in the customer service business. What managerial experience do you have?
So I've been in the customer service business pretty much my entire working career, and that started when I was 16. Currently in my current role, I speak directly with our clients on a daily basis, as well as managing their interactions with our accountants, lawyers, and tax professionals. The management of our employees happens on a remote manner since I work from home, and we help our accountants and tax professionals are located around the country, and that's how we manage our clients, our tax professionals, and the systems we have in place have been proven successful and to get the job done.
Thank you, Miss Sydney. Miss Brenda, same question. You would be the manager over a large number of employees who are essentially in the customer service business. What managerial experience do you have?
In my current role, I wear a multitude of hats. One of those is the HR director and benefits specialist for the 40 approved positions in the tax collector's office. I also managed multiple employees in planning and development, and then of course as a private business owner. So it is about setting a culture and respect between the team, and we have that respect now, and trusting in those team members and working on those relationships every day.
And thank you. And Miss Brittney, you would be the manager over a large number of employees who are essentially in the customer service business. What managerial experience do you have?
So when I first started at the ARC, I was the chief financial officer. However, over my time there, my role expanded. I oversaw human resources, facilities, information technology, adult day training programs, supported living programs. In total, there were about 8 different departments and close to 40 staff, sometimes more, just depending on how many clients we had. And it is also, it's structured similar to the tax collector's office. It's a fee for service from the state, and it is customer service, only you're responsible for the well-being of individuals with differing abilities. And so I feel like that very closely relates to serving you all as a tax collector.
Well, thank you. Our next question will start with Miss Brenda. One of the major responsibilities of the tax collector's office is to collect and distribute funds to different places, balancing to the penny. What financial or accounting experience do you have that would equip you to handle this?
So in my current role as deputy tax collector, I also serve as the budget officer for our office. So I have been responsible for the budget submittal to the Department of Revenue and for oversight of the distribution of funds. So we work with a little over a $3 million budget, and we are responsible for collecting and distributing almost $200 million. And we have successfully done that for the past 12 years, meeting all state requirements for audits with clean audits in receiving the Excellence and Legacy Awards for our financial operations through the Florida Tax Collectors Association.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Miss Brittney, same question. One of the major responsibilities of the tax collector's office is to collect and distribute funds to many different places, balancing to the penny. What financial or accounting experience do you have that would equip you to handle this?
So I have experience creating budgets and implementing budgets of $5.5 million, $6 million, somewhere in there, in which I was responsible for closely analyzing those financial statements. And due to the breakout of departments, I was analyzing about 80 pages of financial statements every month, and every penny needed to be accounted for. Like in any budget, I also have been responsible for tracking grants up to $1 million and reporting those to the state. So I feel I have a good experience in budgeting and financial statements.
Thank you, Miss Brittney. Miss Sydney, same question. One of the major responsibilities of the tax collector's office is to collect and distribute funds to many different places, balancing to the penny. What financial or accounting experience do you have that would equip you to handle this?
My work experience will go back to my bookkeeping time, my dad's shop, when I helped run the front of his shop to manage the books and customer service. This experience is mainly handled in QuickBooks Daily and balanced monthly. Outside of that, my current role, I am very detail-oriented with the work that I currently do dealing with taxes owed. We have to be accurate in our numbers in dealing with the IRS, so I'd use the same detail orientation as well as the accounting system in place currently. Any improvements we would make to those systems to ensure accuracy down to the penny.
Thank you, Miss Sydney. Our next question will begin with Miss Brittney. Miss Brittney, this position requires you to keep up with a whole lot of laws and statutes. Is this something that you're comfortable with or you have experience with?
Yes, I have experience keeping up with laws and statutes. Most of my experience stems from hospitals, assisted living facilities, and people with disabilities. However, that experience will transfer over into reading laws and statutes for the tax collector's office. I also have experience in influencing, getting some of that to change for the better of the person, especially people with disabilities. You know, we are their voice. So. And I also have experience keeping up with best practices for accounting and finances.
Thank you, Miss Brittney. Miss Sydney, this position requires you to keep up with a whole lot of laws and statutes. Is this something you're comfortable with or you have experience with?
Yes, these requirements are actually right up my alley as I've worked for this tax defense law firm for about 6 years. We are consistently having to adapt to new IRS rules and regulations as well as yearly tax codes. And changing as they happen.
Oh, thank you, Miss Sydney. Miss Brenda, same question. This position requires you to keep up with a lot of laws and statutes. Is this something that you're comfortable with or you have experience with?
I'm very comfortable with it. It's something that I do every single day. I'm very familiar with all of the statutes that dictate what the tax collector's office does, not only in relation to the collection of taxes, but all of the executive branches of government that we represent. And then in my former career with planning and development, I assisted with the writing of the land development code and comp plan that are currently adopted for this county. So a lot of hard work and sweat put into that. So those are adopted by local ordinance. So yes, very well versed in laws and statutes.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. This being a Christian radio station, faith plays a whole lot in everything that we do, obviously. So your next question, we're going to start with Sydney. What role does your faith have in your decisions?
So as a Christian, I do practice daily prayer to guide me in my decisions in everything that I do. A lot of the decisions that will be made in the tax collector's office are of course going to be followed by statutes and their guidelines. But at the end of the day, it's in God's hands, and as long as you're praying and hoping for the best, it's the best outcome's going to be, again, like I said, in God's hands.
Thank you, Sydney. Miss Brenda, what role does your faith have in your decisions?
Plays a major role in every decision that I make. It's understanding that you have a trust and belief and knowing that you're not in control all the time. but the belief that you know that you have somebody walking beside you. All of your decisions are guided by that, and I know that I do not walk this journey alone. There are a lot of analyzing of those decisions and knowing when to think before you speak, and upholding an ethical and moral standard. I've prided myself on that my entire life, and I'm too old to change that now, so I continue to walk and practice my faith every day.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Mm-hmm. And Miss Brittney, what role does your faith have in your decisions?
Being a Christian impacts every aspect of my life, including decisions that I would make on a daily basis. Whenever I make a decision, my goal is always to be understanding, ethical, have integrity, be optimistic, and do what I can to make a positive impact in people's lives. And I grew up wearing the "What Would Jesus Do" bracelet, so I think that says a lot about me.
Thank you, Miss Brittney. My next question is we'll start with Miss Brenda. This position is one of a public office, placing you in a spotlight in our community. Are you prepared for how this may change your everyday life?
Absolutely. So I've been doing that for 23 years, my entire career with the county. I've been in a lot of public hearings. I've spent a lot of time focusing on those images and perceptions and making sure that I am a good representative, not only for an office of public trust, but also for the team members that I work with, and as a good representative for our community. So I'm very comfortable with it and proud to continue.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Miss Brittney, same question. This position is one of a public office, placing you in the spotlight in our community. Are you prepared for how this may change your everyday life?
So I do understand it would put even more of a spotlight on me. I do a lot of volunteer work in the community, and I'm very involved in the community, so I feel like there is already a spotlight on me and has been. I, like I said, do understand it would, become even more of a spotlight. I don't think it will change how I live, because I believe I'm a good person and I always try to do what's right. And I don't drink alcohol or party, and I haven't for many, many years. So I think that's something that could reflect negatively on our community. And I try to do my best to reflect positively on my family, myself, and lead a good life.
Thank you, Miss Brittney. Miss Sydney, same question. This position is one of public office, placing you in the spotlight in our community. Are you prepared for how this may change your everyday life?
Yes, I don't have any problem with being in the spotlight within our community. I love Putnam County and what it has done for me. It's given me my family, and I've already started trying to reach out to other organizations and clubs to try to get more involved. My daughter's 3 and she's about to start going to school, so I'll have more time to be more involved in the community as well. So I actually look forward to it.
All right, thank you. Our next question, we're going to start with Brittney. Is there anything else we haven't covered that you'd like to include today?
Yes. So I just want to say a few things. If I'm elected, I do have, key priorities. Some of those being internal controls, reviewing the internal controls that are in place and making those even stronger, so that we can ensure tax dollars are being appropriately utilized and distributed. Also looking at investment strategies and maximizing those within the fiscal year, and enhancing customer service to be customer driven and with a positive attitude, and just enhancing what is already there.
Thank you, Miss Brittney. Miss Sydney, same question. Is there anything else we haven't covered today that you'd like to include?
Yes, one thing actually that has come up in conversations through campaigning is that the customer service that's currently in there now doesn't need to change. And of course, there's always going to be things where in customer service where they can be improved. But if that's one thing that doesn't need to change, there's other things as like better checks and balances, as well as better systems that can improve the efficiency and quality of the entire office.
Thank you, Miss Sydney. Miss Brenda, same question. Is there anything else that we haven't covered here today that you'd like to include?
Absolutely. So I think experience plays a major role in this position. As I said, this role is responsible for the collection and distribution of over $200 million. I have successfully played a role in that and have built a career based on team building and ensuring that everybody continuously receives education for the duties that we are charged to do by the state. Customer service is something that we ask the public to tell us how we're doing. We do that through surveys, and we respect that feedback, whether it's good or bad. That's how we learn, and we continue to do that and look for innovative solutions to prioritize how we value the customer's time when they come in and hopefully move them through their transaction, providing all the assistance that they need.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Our last question, our final question, is your opportunity to tell our listeners why they should vote for you, and feel free to include your contact information. We're going to start with Miss Sydney.
Yes, on August 20th, I feel like I should get your vote as the next tax collector in Putnam County, because I will do what is right for the citizens of Putnam County. I'll put systems into place to provide more accuracies and less discrepancies, and I will show the integrity to do the due diligence in determining if additional tax should be collected prior to just collecting it. Bringing better accuracy and integrity to the tax collector's office will show the citizens of Putnam County that they can trust me as their next tax collector. And I appreciate everyone who is going to go out and vote August 20th. I do have a QR code on all of the signs that I have out around Putnam, and you can scan that and that'll have my contact information on it. Or you can always call me or text me at 386-385-2902, and I do have a Facebook page as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sydney. Miss Brenda, same question. Our last question, final question, is your opportunity to tell our listeners why they should vote for you, and feel free to include any contact information.
Absolutely. Your tax dollars are serious business, and experience matters. As the only candidate with proven leadership experience in a tax collector's office, I'm asking for your trust and your vote on August 20th to continue the work that we've been doing. As always, customer service is a priority. We want to hear from you, and we will continue to implement the laws as pushed from the state for all of the executive branches of government that we represent. That is the foremost responsibility that we have, and the fiduciary responsibility of making sure that we collect, invest, and distribute those tax dollars and any fees that are unused at the end of the fiscal year to all of those taxing authorities in a pro rata basis. So again, Brenda Bridges, elect Bridges 2024 at gmail.com, 386-546-0454.
Thank you, Miss Brenda. Miss Brittney, same question. The final question is your opportunity to tell our listeners why they should vote for you, and feel free to include any contact information.
I ask for your vote on or before August 20th because I have the most formal education and I bring a diverse experience, which will allow me to effectively lead the office and improve services. Please visit my website, votegoodsontexcollector.com, or you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, Brittney Goodson for Tax Collector. I would love to hear from you, and my cell number is 386-983-3108.
Thank you, Miss Brittney, and thank you all for your participation in our forum today and for your desire to serve our community. This has been a public service of 91.3 HopeFM. We encourage you to share this and other recordings of our forums online in your pages, if you would. And the primary elections on the 20th of August. Early voting opportunities are on the 5th and the 17th of August. If you have any questions about voting, please contact the Supervisor of Elections office or visit their website or stop by and see them for a voter hand guide. Now, as a member of the HopeFM team and as a retired veteran, I encourage you to get out and vote. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.